Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Let's get to pouring. I'm not gonna do the most healthiest pour in the world because, ladies and germs, it is 100 proof. The lights are on, the bar is set, and my glass is empty. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of One More Pour here in the Teeqlife Media Studio. I am Don Ferguson, the proprietor of the Teeqlife Media Group, and your host for today. They say there is no bourbon like a Kentucky Straight Bourbon. So today, we're heading down to the Bourbon Trail. We are trying New Riff's flagship whiskey bourbon. If you haven't heard of New Riff before, they're doing things their own way, and they want to be one of the greatest small distilleries in the world. They want to be respectfully different and innovative where it makes sense. Now, if you love a good bourbon like I do, I just want to get to cracking this open and get to tasting. This expression is bottled in bond. What exactly does that mean? Well, we're going to talk a lot about that and something else at the very end of the episode. What's that other thing? Oh, this no chill filtration. Have you heard about it? They're pretty known for it. Whatever. We got to get going. But before that, I got two things to share with you. First, the owner, Ken Lewis. Now, he wanted to get into the bourbon industry, but he was already in the liquor industry. He actually owned one of the largest stores in North America at the time before creating his own bourbon. Ken owned that store for about 40 years, and what he decided to do was sell that store to the employees so it could be owned, just like the Green Bay Packers. The city owns that. The people own the Green Bay Packers. Same premise here. Ken wanted to build a legacy brand, so selling that store to the employees allowed him to fund his vision. The name New Riff? Well, a new riff on an old tradition. Ken is a music lover. And riff, guitar, you get it? Really? There's really a lot to go into the name that I just don't have time to share because I'm salivating. I'm ready. Let's go. So, this is their flagship expression. It is 100 proof. It is a Kentucky Straight Bourbon, which there's laws around, there's rules and regulations when it comes to saying you're a Kentucky Straight Bourbon, right? And it's bottled in bond, which, again, we're going to talk about that stuff at the end of the video. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Let's get to pouring. I'm not going to do the most healthiest pour in the world because, ladies and germs, it is 100 proof. Let's swirl it. Let's get it opening. These are the competition grade tasting glasses that I use all the time. I love these. They really capture the essence in the glass and allow it to funnel up. So we're going to go into color. Looking at this, oh, it's beautiful. It's shining. It's radiant in the studio lights here. Nice amber, not a woman's name, an amber hue to it. It's like really golden. It's very regal. On top of that, with this non-chill filtration, it's going to have like an oily brilliance in the glass. And so as we move it around, I can absolutely see it's 100 proof, but these tears are just ever so slightly trickling down this tasting glass. This is brilliance in a glass, and just to let you know, as we're doing this swirl, I'm not going to do the whiskey chew or anything. I don't know, we'll see. But the aromas are funneling up. They're really coming out of there because it's like they've been trapped forever, and they just want it out. Alrighty. You know what? It's business. Let's go backwards hat, as we always like to do, so that way we can go in for the nosing. I'm not holding it up to my nose. People, this is a big aroma coming out. It's very inviting. It is sweet. You're getting a lot of nice sweetness. It is savory. I didn't talk about the mash bill because we're going to get into that with the tasting, but I'm getting some toasted brown sugars just coming out. There's a little hint of butterscotch, some oak, just a tad vanilla. very like a vanilla bean, just something just really, really nice. On top of that, like some baked apples, some caramelized baked apples with some butter. Oh, it's so lovely. Let it swirl a little bit more. We're going to do one more nosing because I know there's something deep down in there, and the longer that it sits, the more it's going to open. Nice. Oh, nice, nice touch of baked apples in that one. Little bit of peppery. Now, peppery, a little bit of pepper. So this is a high rye. I'm going to talk about it. Touch of cinnamon, oak coming through, a char. So they're going to do a charred oak. Wow. Very complex, very rich, very nice. But with the alcohol content being 100 proof, it's not overpowering. It's not burning my nostrils. As we go in for the taste, 100 proof, it's aged for at least 4 years in the mash bill. I know you've been dying to know what it was. So it's 65% corn, 30% rye, and 5% malted rye. We go in for the tasting. Now there's going to be 3. First to coat the palate, second to kind of open it up, and then third we're going to talk about that and the finish. Uno. Oh. You know, New Riff has won quite a few awards. Jumping into this like I'm diving in it. I'm getting ahead of myself as I always do, but I'm telling you, this is a very nice sipper right off the bat. Number 2, this is where we talk about it. Ooh. First things first, for 100 proof, it is nice and relaxed. It's smooth. It is not stinging me. There's not too much heat. That heat, and we'll talk about the finish, it's going to slowly roll in, but there are some nice sweet characteristics like a caramel, some vanilla hints, a little bit of baking spices on the back end like that cinnamon, maybe some clove. There is a decent, not a ton, but a decent amount of black pepper. We're going to go number 3. Thank you. My goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, let's go into it. Baking spices are really, really rampant there. They're very evident. I'm getting some clove. I'm getting good notes of cinnamon, black pepper, some oak. Man, there's also a fruitiness. So almost like a black cherry or maybe a hint of blackberry as well. Now, we do a lot of research here at the Teeqlife Media Group just to kind of share as much as we possibly can. And what we found out is they're actually doing, I think what it is a toast and a char. And that char is going to be a level 4 char, which is a deep one. They refer to that as the alligator char. Yeah, this is something that you don't want to rush. You just want to sip it lightly, ever so gently, because as you do, you're going to just continue to get more and more out of it. Like for me, I'm getting like a tiny hint of like mint on the back end, which, I'm not mad at, but it's very unique, very different. Some dried black cherries, and there's kind of like a charred oak essence coming through. A little bit of white pepper on that finish. Now that finish is nice and long. It's going to rest and caress your inner organs and say, hey, thank you. Yep, white pepper. That clove with the basic baking spices. Just a very nice sweetness, but it's not aggressive. It's not harsh whatsoever. Like, there are some corn-based whiskeys, vodkas, they're a little bit too harsh, but the fruitiness of it is just really, really resonating to my palate. It lingers around. It's really nice and warm, and that sour mash is really coming through. I think what else is, really unique about New Riff, what they're doing is, when it comes to the distillation, the water that they're using is from a limestone aquifer underneath the distillery. And water can make all of the difference in the world when it comes to producing a spirit. We gotta rate this. I think you can tell I was overly pleased. I was pretty happy. So with that being said, I'm going to rate this one on a 1 to 5 sliding scale. 1 meaning nope, walk away. 5 meaning hell yeah, run. As in run to buy this. So what are we rating it? I'm going to give this a, it's really good. I'm going to give it a 4.4. A 4.4 is exceptional. It is definitely Teeqlife approved, but I really, really like this. Even for it being 100 proof, it's not overpowering. It's not going to melt your innards. We're going to talk about this bottled in bond. You may have seen it, you may not have. If you're new to whiskey, it is something that you're going to consistently see. And it's, it kind of speaks to quality. Here are the rules when it comes to BIB, bottled in bond. 1, it must be produced by a single distiller during a single season. What that means is January through June. You get the picture, right? Also, it must be aged for at least 4 years. It must be in a federally bonded warehouse. It must be exactly 100 proof. And it cannot contain any additives. They can only use water. Oh, now you understand why I mentioned about the aquifer, the water. Yeah, that's why. Let's talk about this no-chill filtration a little bit. It's a method that skips the heavy cooling and fine mesh filtering process that's used to remove fatty acids, oils, and other stuff for clarity. So what it does is it leaves those natural compounds in the spirit. Let's look at it from a cast iron skillet point of view. What did your great-great-great-great-great-grandmother used to say? Don't wash it out. You want to leave all those fatty acids, all that goodness in there. You wipe it out, but you leave it. It's the same premise. They're leaving everything in it that makes it creamy, more authentic. So that means it may be a little bit cloudy when you're adding a little bit of water or if you're sipping it on the rocks. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. I know it's complex, but you know what? Let's just drink. That wraps up another episode of One More Pour here in the Teeqlife Media Studio. New Riff has a lot of expressions out there on the market. If you want to learn more, we're going to drop that website in the comments. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share. If you have a recommendation, let us know. Also, if you need a recommendation for a party, a wedding, I don't know, whatever it is, holler at us. Life's too short to drink bad liquor, people. Choose wisely. We're going to see you on the next episode. Cheers.